Hello and welcome to this week's Power Engineering International newscast. I'm Dermot Williams. This week, gas power to challenge coal in Asia, EnBW to cut more costs as power plants continue to suffer, TenneT's €20 billion investment plan to boost German and Dutch grids, and novel pump storage project assessed in Germany. A new report by Wood Mackenzie predicts increasing competition from natural gas in power generation in Asia. The consultancy forecasts that as prices for the cleaner burning fuel are expected to stay depressed, coal prices are unlikely to fall much further. Graham Tyler, Research Director for Asia Gas and Power at Wood Mackenzie, said he did not anticipate any sustained price recovery for gas before 2020. And said an environment was emerging where coal versus gas competition in Asia is a real possibility. Asian liquefied natural gas spot prices have halved in the last 6 months in multi-year lows. Thermal coal currently accounts for about half of all power generation across Asia, with natural gas making up only 11%, according to Wood Mackenzie. But environmental concerns and the introduction of carbon trading schemes will favour more gas burning in China and South Korea, while Malaysia is also expected to increasingly turn to gas amid delays to construction of new coal-fired power plants and an oversupply of domestic gas. Germany's third biggest utility will cut costs further in response to low wholesale prices and write-downs on plants, expecting the crisis in the energy sector to reduce profits by up to 5% this year. EnBW is seeking to cut a further $424 million from annual costs by 2020 as the increase in renewables, politically driven by the country's Energiewende policy, continues to impact on the company's conventional power facilities. Despite being an early adopter to the energy transition ahead of rivals, the company reported a bottom-line loss of $476 million for 2014, compared with a profit of $51 million a year earlier. Chief Executive Frank Masto said the company would not stray from its objective to boost its renewables business, but even if in that future-oriented segment, the company's operating profit sank by 13% last year. On the plus side, analysts pointed out that EnBW's losses were far lower than the $3.4 billion loss incurred by E.ON and the $1.38 billion loss logged at RWE this year. TenneT is planning to invest about €20 billion over the next 10 years in the grids of both Germany and the Netherlands. The electricity transmission system operator invested €2.3 billion in both the country's grids in 2014. By 2023, TenneT plans to grid connect 3.4 gigawatt of Dutch offshore wind energy under an agreement reached with that country's government in 2014. By 2019, TenneT intends to build 7.1 gigawatt of connections for Germany's wind farms, which it says will easily meet the government's offshore wind target of 6.5 gigawatt by 2020. TenneT CFO Otto Jaeger said the company is well equipped financially for the tasks ahead, but added that the energy transition and the associated extensive investment program require a robust regulatory regime. He added that such a regime should strike the right balance between security of supply and an acceptable cost level. Finally, and also in Germany, a solution to convert coal mines into pumped storage hydroelectric power stations is being undertaken as part of the drive towards energy transition.
In 2018, coal production is set to end in Germany. For now, it's business as usual for these miners in the West German Ruhr region. But in 3 years, their workplace might look very different. Scientists are looking at a pumped storage power plant to replace these mines. This would entail turning mine tunnels and shafts into underground storage spaces for water. Geologist Ulrich Schreiber says it can be done. He has done research into converting mines into renewable energy producers.
We were able to show in our first development study that it's technically possible to build a pumped storage power plant underground. That means we have the volume, infrastructure and technical capabilities. We won't be using anything that still has to be developed. Pumped storage power plants are known, proven and necessary.
Pumped storage power plants can provide energy even when the sun isn't shining or the wind blowing. Water is drained from an above-ground reservoir into a shaft with turbines at the bottom. These convert the force of the falling water into electricity. Once the sun and wind provide enough energy, their power would be used to pump the water back up to the reservoir. The mine's infrastructure first has to be removed to make room for the pumped storage power plant. That could cost between 200 to 500 million euros. Without subsidies, however, investors will probably be hard to find. Still, German company RAG, which runs coal production in this region, says it is interested in turning the site into a source of renewable energy.
For the state of North Rhine-Westphalia, which describes itself as an energy state, this great project would be a feather in its cap, also internationally. I'm certain that it will not only be a worthy investment, but one that will pay off.
Thank you for watching this week's PEI News. Go to Power Engineering International website for more of the latest news stories for the global power generation industry.